It's Miss Sassycat Storytime! Be My VALENSLIME by J.K. Arden. Illustrated by Joy Allen. Greta hated boys. She had hated boys for a whole year, ever since Harris, her next-door neighbor, had sneaked a slimy slug into her backpack. For a Valentine's Day present. Well, this Valentine's Day, it was Greta's turn, and she was ready. Harris was so busy talking about all the Valentines he would get, he didn't notice when Greta slipped something into his backpack. So when he took out his books before class, he was delighted to discover a bright red candy box. Eagerly, he read the card and lifted the lid. "It's Valentine's Day. Here's something for you. There are creamies and crunchies and chewy ones, too. Harris, get ready to take a big bite. These tidbits are guaranteed to be out of sight. Greta." "Gotcha, Harris! You've been Valenslimed. P.S. Don't eat them all at once." Harris flung the box into the air and shrieked. Creepy creatures flew everywhere. A spider landed on his leg. A worm wriggled on his shoe. Worst of all was the enormous slug that oozed over his desk and across his homework. Blech! Greta grinned. She had waited a whole year for this. Now Harris remembered. He had Valenslimed Greta the year before. But he would not be outslimed. His chance came during science. The moment Greta looked away, he stuck a huge celery stick into her garden pot. Greta turned, stared at her pot, and shouted, "Look, everyone! Look! I grew a celery tree!" Ms. Dupuis glowered. The kids guffawed. Ha! Greta noticed an envelope to Greta Green Thumbs. "Greta's the grower of celery trees. Her fame will spread across the 7 seas. Pass the peanut butter, Slimentine." Harris. The next class was band, and Greta thought fast. Mr. Frederick tapped his baton. The band started playing, but when Harris blew his tuba, a terrible noise came out. He tried again. Mr. Frederick scowled as Harris reached into his horn and pulled out a pickle. The band giggled. Harris turned red. Harris spotted an envelope. "For Harris, the pucker puss. Mr. Frederick thinks your talent is fickle. You better shape up or you'll be in a pickle. Happy Valenslimes, Greta." His lips were still puckering when he entered the lunchroom. The kids from band were making noises and whispering, "Pucker puss." But Harris had only revenge on his mind. When he saw Greta's lunch next to the pepper shaker, he wasted no time. Greta spit when she bit into her peanut butter and black pepper sandwich. While gulping her milk, she noticed an envelope. "For gasping Greta. Sometimes you think you're so hot. Now's the time to learn that you're not. Patooey, Greta. You've been slimed again. Harris." In gym, Harris felt itchy. The more he scratched, the worse he itched. The more he itched, the more he bungled and fumbled the ball. Mrs. Golden blew her whistle. "Harris, pay attention!" The ball whooshed past him. A cheer erupted. Greta had just scored! That's when he noticed an envelope and an empty packet of itching powder in his pocket. "For Harris, the humbler fumbler. Number 9 sure can prance. Is he playing ball or learning to dance? A top team player is called a hero, but move like this and you're just a 0. Hey, Itchy, scratchy Valenslimes Day, Greta." At last, school was over. So far, Greta and Harris had survived each other's Valenslimes. But it was only 3 o'clock. Greta and Harris had arts and crafts class after school. Today, they didn't walk together. Greta walked on one side of the street, still chewing her peanut butter and black pepper sandwich. Harris walked on the other side, still itching around the collar. Today, everyone was going to make Valentine's Day picture frames. Miss Cynthia had laid out the paints, markers, glitter, and glue. Greta decided to make a frame for her dad. She chose the white glitter and began her project. Harris decided to make a frame for his mother. He chose the red glitter and started to work, trying not to scratch. Harris's big break came when Greta left to wash her paintbrush. When she returned, everyone was giggling. Greta snatched her frame in alarm, but it wouldn't budge. It was stuck fast to the tablecloth. Greta noticed an envelope. Greta, stuck up? You think you're a schemer and so very tricky, but now you're in a mess that's ever so sticky. Hey, VALENSLIME, you've been framed. Harris. After arts and crafts class, Greta and Harris were not speaking. Greta's mom picked them up. They sat as far away from each other as they could. Happy Valentine's Day, Greta's mother beamed. Happy VALENSLIME's Day, said Greta and Harris at exactly the same time. VALENSLIME's? Tines, said Greta. Yeah, said Harris. Valentines. The truth was, both Greta and Harris were completely exhausted. It hadn't been a very fun Valentine's Day at all. But the day was almost over, and their only stop before home was the bookstore. While the VALENSLIMEs had been fun at first, they had gotten way out of hand. Greta decided there was still time to save Valentine's Day. She chose a book for Harris. Harris had exactly the same idea. He chose a book for Greta. Leaving the store, they handed each other a bag. Here, Harris, said Greta. Here, Greta, said Harris. Who knew what slimy trouble was inside? They both eyed each other suspiciously. As soon as she got home, Greta peeked ever so cautiously into her bag. Was she surprised? There was a copy of Beauty and the Beast with a card attached. To Greta, I am the Beast, and you are the Beauty. Declaring a truce is my #1 duty. Happy Valentine's Day. Harris, the King of VALENSLIMEs. As soon as he got home, Harris peeked ever so cautiously into his bag. Was he surprised? There was a copy of Beauty and the Beast with a card attached. To Harris, your VALENSLIMes sure made me wince, but despite the pranks, you are a prince. Happy Valentine's Day. Greta, the Queen of VALENSLIMes. So this is the story of Harris and Greta and their challenge to find out which one was better at plotting and scheming and tricking and sliming, at pickling, peppering, powdering, and rhyming. At the close of this nerve-wracking VALENSLIME's Day, the race seems a tie. It could go either way. Now Greta and Harris can say without fear, hey neighbor, just wait till I slime you next year. This was Be My VALENSLIME by J.K. Arden, illustrated by Joy Allen. Will you be our Valentine? Please hit that subscribe button and join the Miss Sassycat Storytime family. We love making these videos for you. Click on the description below for more links and information on how to support this author and support this channel. Thanks for watching Miss Sassycat Storytime.